Go ahead.
All right, everyone. Welcome to the Prometheus community meeting. We are doing one of these one a month. You can find the agenda in the document linked. And I'm Matthias. I work for Red Hat. Pov isn't able to make it today, so I'm taking over. And yeah, I just want to quickly point out that we are following the code of conduct, which you can find in Prometheus. So please be aware of that and report anything that needs to be reported in private. And with that being said, let's get started with some announcement. The first one is by Brian on Cortex. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. So Cortex, which is a long-term storage implementation for Prometheus metrics, made its first release today. It is modestly labeled 0.1, and this after we've been running in production for 3 years. So, essentially the story is we just didn't get around to it. But a lot of people have asked for us to have labeled versions, and they won't take it seriously until we have that. So now we have it, and many thanks to Chris Marchbanks, who did most of the work.
Yeah.
All right, I guess that's it. Anything to add to that, Chris, maybe? Or anything changed, or is it just like something you take the version number now?
Yeah, so we have version number now. We're going to do a better job of keeping track of release numbers or of changelog entries. We do some stuff from about the last month into this current changelog entry. But yeah, check those out. Those are both on GitHub. So following a very similar style as Prometheus, and by that I mean I copy pasted most of your documentation. So thanks for writing that. Yeah, and yeah, let me know or anyone else if you find any issues with it. And thanks, guys.
All right, cool. Any questions in regards to this announcement? All right. Then I don't think we even have anything else on the agenda. This is basically now time for the community to ask questions. As we are that few people, I think it's also fine to just go ahead and start asking questions in the call. And otherwise, feel free to also use the chat in the Zoom call. Is there anything you want to discuss?
Hi, this is Alfred Landrum. Can I just ask a question? Thanks. My name is Alfred Landrum. I work at Sysdig as an engineer on our Prometheus efforts. I submitted a talk for PromCom in November. I just wanted to maybe ask if there was any idea when we would hear back on, yes or no on the submissions that we made. Thanks.
Okay, well, that's one for me. So we're currently working on the CFP. So the way we work it is that we have all the entries we have. Prometheus team all ranks them, and then I take them and try to make a sane schedule out of that, trying to make sure things are appropriately diverse in all the different dimensions. So all going well, I imagine we will start contacting people probably next week.
Great, thank you.
Any other PromCon related questions?
Maybe one question from me that I asked the team, maybe it's interesting for the rest of the public to know. I don't know if you know Brian, but the question that I asked on the mailing list yesterday, which is there is no sponsoring catalog online yet. When can we expect that to see?
Well, I believe that was fixed earlier today.
Ah, okay. Then sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem. Like it should have been up earlier.
Okay, Well, I guess we should probably tweet it with the Prometheus account so everyone's aware. Okay, thank you.
Anything else related to Prometheus, or as this is also called the ecosystem call, anything you want to ask about Cortex or Prometheus Operator or Thanos or something else?
Sure. Actually, my name is Ryan Chappell. I work for VMware, and I've been working with a client recently. We're using Thanos, and they want to use the Prometheus operator. It's a fantastic integration. Thanos, with the Prometheus operator, one of the things that they're trying to do that I don't think we can do yet, and I have looked at the issues for Prometheus operator. There is a issue open about being able to specify init containers, because one of the things that they would like to do is use the Vault auth and console template kind of init containers in order to pull secrets out of Vault and then inject them into the sidecar for Thanos. Having init containers would help that, but also what that would need, though, is the ability to define volumes, because that's how those two containers can communicate. So I see that we have an issue for init containers. What do we think about the feasibility for getting one for volumes, in the Prometheus object? Doable? Too difficult?
The general idea about the Prometheus operator is that we want to try to expose the least amount of configuration knobs necessary. If these are necessary, I think we can consider them. I think we should probably talk through the use case a little bit more and see what other solutions there could be. But I think the use case in general, loading secrets from Vault, is a reasonable one, and we should enable that in some way. What way that would be, I think, is discussable. But yeah, feel free to, maybe for the exact use case, open an issue, and then we can talk through it.
Okay, great. Yeah, because I've been spinning on this for a while, trying to figure out, there are ways that you can specify containers that override the default behavior of the Thanos container that's injected, but I can't see a way to make that the Vault auth and console template containers work without having the ability to define volumes, because that's how they communicate. Yeah,
makes sense. If that's the only way we're going to be able to do it, then we should probably add it.
Okay. Yeah, well, I'll put that in today.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great question. Anything else?
Yeah, I have a question on Prometheus Operator as well. I think recently there was some validation webhooks added for Prometheus rules. Do you know if there's any work adding those for like service monitors or other types as well, / would there be interest in that?
I think there's some interest. Sorry, go ahead, Matthias.
Yeah, no, you go ahead.
Okay, so Prometheus rules are especially interesting because they contain PromQL, and that's why we wanted to do validating webhooks. I'm not sure it's entirely necessary for service monitors. If we have a use case that can only be done with validating webhooks, then I'm perfectly happy with doing that. But I think we should be able to cover most things via just open API schemas.
Okay, I think the specific case that I've had break is relabeling configs. Like if you specify a bad action or a bad something in relabeling configs, I've had my Prometheus break for that. Would that be a think admission webhook, or is there another way around that?
I would want to try to explore with the API machinery team if we can have something like enum types or enum values or something like that in the schema. I would I would try to avoid validating webhooks as much as possible because they are interesting in an operational aspect. Like they're difficult to get absolutely right. So if we can get it with a schema, I would prefer that. But if there is no other way, then perfectly happy with having it.
Okay, yeah, I'll look into if there's any option with the schema. Thank you.
Anything else? All right, then going once. Maybe type questions if you don't want to ask, or going twice, like in the chat.
Or make funny faces like Ben is doing.
Right. Anyone typing in the chat?
Nobody wants to talk about Prometheus?
I think it would actually be cool to have some of the DigitalOcean folks join us next time and talk about it.
All right, then maybe someone can reach out to them. And otherwise, I would say have a good day and see you for the next time. If no one is objecting to that, then that's it for this month. See you in September.
See y'all in September.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.